On September 14th, Polish President Karol Nawrocki signed a classified decree authorizing the deployment of NATO forces on Polish soil, following an alleged violation of the country's airspace by drones suspected to belong to Russia. In a formal statement, the Polish National Security Bureau (BSN) confirmed President Karol Nawrocki has signed a decree permitting the presence of foreign military forces from NATO member states on the territory of Poland. This decree has been designated as classified. The decision came just 2 days after NATO announced the launch of Operation Eastern Sentry, a military initiative designed to reinforce Poland after the country invoked Article 4 of the NATO treaty. Article 4 allows any NATO member state to request urgent consultations with allies if it feels its sovereignty, territorial integrity, security, or political independence is under threat. Warsaw pointed to multiple incidents involving drones, allegedly launched by Russia, crossing into its territory as the main reason for the request. NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte emphasized that the operation's goal is to strengthen the alliance's eastern flank in the face of growing Russian activity. The Supreme Allied Commander Europe, SACEUR, General Alexis G. Grinkewicz, explained that the mission would integrate both ground and air defenses to counter what he described as a wide spectrum of threats emanating from Moscow. As part of the effort, NATO is preparing to deploy a range of military assets from allied nations, including Denmark, France, the United Kingdom, Germany, and others. These assets will not only include traditional weapon systems, but also specialized counter-drone technologies. Moreover, NATO infantry units from at least 8 member states are expected to be stationed in Poland, though the exact scale of the deployment remains undisclosed. Polish Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz characterized the move as one of the most significant undertakings in the alliance's history. NATO is demonstrating a clear and decisive response. Eastern Sentry represents a very serious step, potentially one of the largest operations ever launched by the alliance, he declared. With NATO's backing, Poland plans to establish a multi-layered air defense shield, capable of intercepting not only drones, but also cruise missiles, fighter aircraft, and other aerial threats. Officials argue this will drastically enhance Poland's security at a time when the country finds itself increasingly on the front line of tensions between Russia and the West. The decree and NATO's initiative were triggered by a massive Russian assault on Ukraine on September 10th, involving more than 400 drones and over 400 missiles. According to Polish intelligence, 19 drones suspected of being launched from Belarus entered Polish airspace during the attack. These drones reportedly carried no explosives and were likely being used for reconnaissance purposes. In response, the Polish Air Force scrambled fighter jets and engaged the intruding aircraft. 4 drones were shot down with missile systems, though Polish authorities clarified that their forces only targeted drones deemed potentially dangerous. The developments highlight not only Poland's heightened sense of vulnerability, but also NATO's willingness to escalate its military presence in Eastern Europe. Analysts suggest that Eastern Sentry could mark a turning point in the alliance's posture, signaling that it is prepared to move swiftly and decisively when the security of its eastern members is directly challenged.